y dígale también que solo junto a ella puedo respirar. No hay brillo en las estrellas ya ni el sol me calienta y estoy muy solo aquí, no sé a dónde fue. Por favor,
Welcome back, my beautiful dolls and my beautiful sunshines, to this your channel. Today we're going to be talking about doubts about taking care of your Kolinsky brushes, doubts that I see around on Facebook in the nail groups and stuff, and I'm gonna do my best to help you according to what I've learned with cosmetology school, workshops, and here on YouTube. So this brush here I've had before this happened maybe 2 to 3 years, and I lent it out on a basic workshop that I helped out with, and I lent it out, and the girl later told me that she pushed the acrylic off with a cuticle pusher, so this happened to it. It curled the little hairs, so I tried to fix it and it worked for a while, but then they would spread out like that again, and I didn't like working with that because I felt like the acrylic got really sloppy when I applied it. She apologized, so I'm like, yeah, that's okay, no problem. Then I got another one the same. This one has the polish on it. That's what I did with the first one I showed you, and it worked for a while, but after a while it wasn't doing it for me. So this one I first soaked in monomer. I don't soak in acetone, I soak in monomer. So I soaked it in monomer, make sure all of it was free of acrylic, and then I put clear polish on it, and it's just been sitting there for like a few weeks. So yeah, that one's been sitting there for a few weeks like that. You guys could buy these brushes here. I bought one at CM Nail Supplies, and I bought the other one on eBay. They run from $16 to $18, maybe $20 depending on the size. These both are size 10. Now the way I messed this one up, that's sitting in clear polish, like I said, I stopped doing nails, so the acrylic kind of got stuck in there. Even though I cleaned it a little bit, I didn't clean it thoroughly like I should have, and it separated the Kolinsky bore, or I don't know what you call it, the little hairs. A lot of people recommend you to use acetone. I do not. It's a big no-no. Never soak your Kolinsky brushes in acetone. Why? Because it dehydrates them and they start looking funky, and they stop working correctly. Just like they kind of look like this when you do the acetone, because you remove the natural moisture it has in it. And then a lot of people tell you, go ahead, soak it in acetone and then put some coconut oil or something oil on it. And I don't recommend that either, because when you're doing that, what's going on is that you're applying the acrylic on the nail with a Kolinsky brush with oil on it. So you're putting it on the natural nail plate. You're putting it on the natural nail plate with a Kolinsky brush with oil applied to it. What do you think is going to happen? It's going to lift. I don't know if I've never tried it. I wouldn't try it because I don't want to risk it. I don't know if you soak off the oil afterwards with the monomer. I don't know, but I really wouldn't recommend it, just because oil is oil, and you know it's really hard to get rid of oil sometimes. So I wouldn't do it. Like I said, there would be like lifting. I believe there would be lifting with the doing the oil thing on the nail. Okay, next thing, brush cleaners. Brush cleaners, I do have one. I don't use it often unless when I'm teaching, my student kind of really accumulates too much acrylic on my brushes. I do use a little bit in a large amount of monomer. As you guys know, I collect my old monomer that I'm done with the set. I'll put in a little container to kind of clean out my brushes, because that's what I prefer to use to clean out my brushes. I'll add a little bit of drops in there to help remove any hard acrylic or anything. I promise you, brush cleaners and acetone are not the best thing for you to use. I murdered a lot. I murdered a lot of Kolinsky brushes in cosmetology school. Why? Because we didn't know that back then. We thought it was okay. So I ended up killing a lot of Kolinsky brushes. So may they rest in peace, my poor little Kolinsky brushes. Unfortunately too, well, maybe, I don't know if it was that acetone or that I bought them at TaLK's. Although back then the ones at TaLK's used to be really good. The ones nowadays are not so good. Nowadays the ones at TaLK's I do not recommend for nothing in the world. I bought a couple of them, the Beauty Secrets and the Red Sable. It used to be really good, but now it is not good. So I definitely do not recommend any of the brushes, except there's one that is called it's from the ASP company, and you always have to ask for it behind the register. Those come out pretty good. They're pretty pricey, but they're worth it. This brush here is a Boan brush. I will put the link down below if I remember. If I don't, remind me, and I will put it down below. This is a Boan brush. It's decorated by me. It's not how it came looking like originally, but they've come out pretty good. This one I've had maybe 7 to 8 months. It's a number 8 and it's flat or oval. And this one I bought as well around the same time, and this one's round, and it's the same number, except one is round and one is flat. Flat means on the middle area, you see how that looks flat right there, and then the other one is round. So that's when it tells you on the descriptions flat or round or oval or round, that's what it means. I'm having issues with this voiceover. I'm like going back and forth in Spanish and in English, so I can remember what I said in which spot. But everything for you guys. This one I bought from my favorite acrylic company, Exotic Nails. This one right here from Boan cost me maybe $7 or $8, and this one maybe $6 or $7. And they've came out really good. Like I said, I've had no problem with them, except you have to wait for like 3 to 6 weeks. Now this one from Exotic is extraordinary. I love this brush. It's always so soft and manageable. Of course I try and keep it clean, and I'm sorry I'm out of camera right there, but I always try to keep it clean and the tip at a point. I always, when I'm wiping, I twist it. I'm showing you there the black ones too that are really good, except I really like this one right here. This one right here that I have in my hand, I paid $35. It has number 5 for 3D on one end, and it has number 10 for acrylic application on the other end. I love that brush. I really do. I think it was worth every penny. Okay, another way to take care of your brush is not only the brand that you buy, but how you use it. How you apply your acrylic really helps on the care of your brush. And I'll explain that to you in a minute. So here is that little container I told you where I pour the monomer. When I'm done with the set, I don't use the same monomer, so I pour it in here, and I soak. I usually don't soak, but I can soak them there. I usually don't like to soak it, but I'll clean right after I'm done with the application. It's really important to clean as soon as you're done. That way you don't have your brushes messed up. Now this container is for soaking. I don't like to use it because it's a lot of waste of product, but if I do have to soak my brushes in one of these that I don't have time to be watching it, I go like to the Chinese stores or whatever and buy their monomer, since it's pretty cheap, and have them soak in that. But I really don't like to soak it. I try and clean my brushes right off the bat as soon as I'm done with the application. Even before filing or whatever on a set, I will clean my brush. So lately I really haven't had to soak it, unless, like I told you, it's one of my students who you know, when you're learning, you really mess up the brushes because you're using the wrong areas of the brushes for wrong reasons. So that's the only time I'll actually have to soak off any of the brushes. If I forget anything, you guys just comment down below and I'll try to answer your questions. I'm gonna put these brushes away because I'm gonna show you how to apply the acrylic so that you don't have all that accumulation in your Kolinsky brush that usually messes it up. This is part of taking care of your brush. It's not the whole thing. Like I said, cleaning it right after you're done is very important. Now, this is called the flag or the tip of your brush. That's what you use to pick up your pearl and apply it. And to sweep it at the end once you're done. The belly of the brush is right here. That's what you use to move your acrylic, to shape it. You don't use a tip, because when you use a tip, what's happening is you're using the tip and it's sweeping in and you're digging in acrylic into it, and that's what starts to separate your brush, and that's why it starts messing up. Now if you do that and not clean it right after, that's even worse. So you gotta try and keep all these steps going when you're using your Kolinsky brushes. They are a big investment and you don't want to be messing them up. So you gotta be really careful, not only to clean it, but on the way you apply the acrylic. So another thing is when you use the tip and even if you wipe the brush right after you apply the acrylic or whatever you're doing, if you're using the tip, you're contaminating your monomer when you re-dip it into the monomer, and then it makes your monomer foggy and it messes with the true shine or the true colors of the colors you are applying. I'm gonna get my cover so I can show you guys about the pearls. And I'm going to be using my Nutrim Exotic nails. Just a reminder, that brush has no remedy. You cannot use it anymore. So really take into caution what I'm about to show you. That way you don't damage your brush and you don't have to be buying these expensive Kolinsky brushes over and over. It's a very expensive investment, so you got to be real careful how you use it. That way it lasts you a little longer. Now, I'm going to be, as you can see, I only put the tip on. Right now I'm removing all the bubbles from my brush. If you haven't used it in a while, it's better to submerge it all, but I've used it so it doesn't have that many bubbles. But let me show you anyway how you would do if you haven't used it. So like I said, if you haven't used it, you submerge it all and kind of wave it around. And then you wipe until no more bubbles come out of your brush. I like to dance it like that to make sure there's nothing caught in there like glitters or small particles of acrylic. Then I remove all the bubbles just by twirling it around. You see how there's no more bubbles coming out? And see, I cleaned my brush and still some glitters came out. Now imagine when you don't clean your brush. So there I'm making sure I have no bubbles in my brush, that way there's minimal or none bubbles on my application. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the 45-degree angle. I dip only the tip of my brush, well, tip a little bit past the tip of my brush, not fully halfway. And I tap on the side. And then here I'm going to be lifting at a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to count once I dip. 1, 2, 3. I lift, I wait for it to get consistency around 5 seconds. And this one right here at the 45-degree angle is something you would apply at the free edge of your nail. You press it at the free edge, compress, and kind of carry it to the tip. I'm going to put it on my ugly little towel for now and show you the next pearl. I dip the tip, I tap. This is a 90-degree angle. 1, 2, 3. And this one I would be using around my cuticle area. And I would also apply it at a 90-degree angle. When you use a 45 and put on the free edge, you would apply it at a 0-degree angle. Now again, this is how they taught me in cosmetology school. And I will be showing you right now exactly how. So that was my small pearl. As you can see, 90-degree angle, 45-degree angle. And then here I'm going to do the 0-degree, but I can't do it on this pot, so I do it kind of out of camera, and I apologize about that. And I do 1, 2, 3. Excuse me. And that's a bigger pearl because I'm doing it at a 0-degree angle. That one I would apply in the tension area. take it off and put it on my little nasty towel here, and I will show you as soon as I'm done fighting with the little pearl. So there you go, 0-degree angle, 45 and 90, and all those pearls you use in the 3-pearl method for the nail. Again, this is how they showed me in cosmetology school. I'm teaching you the easy way. I'm sorry, I was telling them about me hearing noises in my house and I'm all by myself. It's scary. It's scary. Okay, now back to business. And as you can see, there's nothing accumulated in my brush. It's still nice and clean. Nothing went in because I didn't use it the wrong way. So now the first application is going to happen at the tip. It happens at the tip because your tip doesn't have any body heat to help the acrylic dry any faster. So you need to put it at the tip first. And once you put it at the tip and then at the body last, it kind of dries uniformly, evenly, so you could go on and everything with each nail. And I don't know what I'm blabbering about right now. I think I went a little ahead of myself, but yeah, it'll dry uniformly and you go finger by finger. And if you use a pinching tool, it'll be perfect because the free edge will be dry on time for you to do the pinching as you move on finger to finger. So let's get started. So I dip the tip or a little bit past the tip of my brush, tap the side, 45-degree angle, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's around the time I let it get its consistency. Then I apply it for the free edge and I pressure. As you can see, this acrylic also has it's kind of like an side where it has a bounce back. It levels on its own. I let it get consistency and I start carrying it with the belly of my brush, not with the tip or the flag. With the belly, I tap and move forward, tap and move forward, tap and move forward. And then once it's where I want it, I kind of softly sweep the top with the flag of the brush or the tip of the brush. Right here I felt like it was way too thin. I think I put the pearl maybe way too low. Way too low. So I add another little pearl. It's fixable. I still make mistakes, but I just want to do what I can to help you guys. So I'm patting and sweeping softly. And then I think I pick up another pearl at some point. I don't know what I'm blabbing about. But I'm telling you that it's too light at the tip. So I'm pressuring it to see if I could get it to get a little thicker. It doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and do a 90-degree bead for the tip. Just because I don't need that much. So I put the tip in, tap the side, 90-degree, 1, 2, 3. I lift, let it get consistency. And then I apply it at the tip. Pressure, let it get consistency on the nail. And then I pat it to where I like it, and then I slightly sweep it. And there it is, a little more thicker. And I like to pat with the belly to kind of level it all. That way, when it comes to filing, there's not much filing to do. It's not thicker on one side than the other, like you can see there. Then I go to my next bead, which is the one in the I don't know what you call it in English, the pressure zone, where it determines whether the nail breaks or not. I get the thicker bead for that area. I forget my Spanish, I forget my English. Oh Lord, I don't even know what language to speak anymore. So here I do it again. Put the bead on and pressure. Let it get consistency. I just love that it has a little bounce back, that self level. Then, like you can see, I'm doing it with the belly of my brush, bringing it forward to connect to the other bead. and then I softly sweep. If you notice, I rarely clean my brush. This is something else they taught me in one of my workshops. It's good to clean your brush, yes, but you leave most of your product on the towel. When you do this, it kind of ends up more on the nail than on the brush or on your towel. It's just something that they taught me, and I felt that it's worked for me. If I do wet the brush to continue to do it, I rarely wet it, and if I wet it, I tap it on my brush, on my towel, and then I reshape. And as you can see, still no accumulation of acrylic on my brush. Then the next bead is going to be the 90-degree bead. So tap, and then I go into my acrylic. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, they're knocking on my door. 1, 2, 3. And then I also apply at a 90-degree angle. Okay, so the thing I'm now telling you are 1 from cosmetology school, 2 from the workshops I've taken, and 3 from my trial and error, and of course from some of you guys' YouTube videos. So I've put that all together to help me in the application. And here, since you lift at a 90-degree angle, you're also supposed to apply at a 90-degree angle. You can't really see it from where my camera is, but I did it at a 90-degree angle, and then as a 45-degree angle, I kind of walk it to the sides with the tip, and then I softly slide it towards the sides, kind of sweep softly. Then I clean my brush, wet it, tap it on the towel, and then continue to bring it. I really don't tap it here just because I wanted to get that curve that people like on their nails, but I sweep it softly. When you clean the edges, it's really important that you do not re-wet your brush, because you'll create little canals of acrylic, like clearish acrylic that you're not going to see, and that could also cause lifting. Even though you do file, it's already done, it's there, and it could cause lifting. So when you're going to clean the sides, make sure you do it with a dry brush. And then I just sweep over the top, kind of to smooth it out, and there you have it. And as you can see, my brush has no accumulation of acrylic in it. So there you go. I still feel like it needs a little bit at the tip, but when I put it to see from the front, it's fine. That's probably where the baby boomer term came from, huh? So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Remember, you apply with the tip and you carry with the belly or the body of the brush, and you kind of softly do it, kind of like you're scared but not, when you're sweeping with the tip. And you make sure you don't push it in, that way it doesn't go into your Kolinsky brush. Now, one more thing, I'm done. So I'm gonna do what I did at the beginning and dance my brush around the rim. Make sure all acrylic is out. I'm done, so I gotta clean my brush. I'm not gonna wait around to do it. And voila. I like to put my lid on at the end, and I like to lay it down on my little silver thingamajigger for Kolinsky brushes. I don't know what it's called. Another thing I was forgetting to tell you, when you put your brushes away, don't, oops, I ruined my nail. Okay, I'll fix that right now. Don't set it like this, because what happens is that you have the monomer in the Kolinsky brush and it runs to the bottom where it's all connected, and it's gonna make it all fall apart. Your Kolinsky brush bristles are gonna fall out. Bristles, that's the word I've been thinking about the whole video. I'm gonna fix my nail real quick with my Boan brush, and then we're all set. I can't believe I ruined it. It was so perfect. It was a perfect nail. Anyway, so yeah, it's really important that you don't put it in a container facing up, and obviously not facing down, because you're gonna deform the bristles of your brush. Again, I used it. I'm gonna clean it, dance it around, make sure I get all that stuff out of there, and then I am done. I try to keep it shaped when I'm cleaning it, when I'm finishing up with it. I really don't remember what I'm saying here. My laptop died. but you're getting the gist of it. I'm so sorry for this voiceover. Oh my god, I'm fired, ain't I? So there you go, you guys. I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Hugs, kisses, and squeezes to you all. God bless you. Thank you for being subscribed. Thank you for pressing the like button. And if you haven't, please press subscribe, push the like button, share button, whatever you can do to help us grow. Hugs, kisses, and squeezes. Any questions? Be sure to let me know down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I love you.